Hi, welcome to Tiger Family Chiropractic. We're really glad that you decided to take this class and learn more about the chiropractic care that you're receiving. This is our Key to Life class, and we really think it can make a difference in your health and the health of your community. So the truth of the matter is we're living longer than we ever have before. This that you see here is the May 2013 cover of National Geographic. In this article, they discuss that children born in 2013 or later will have a life expectancy of 120 years. Now, as for you and I, the current life expectancy is 78, but that number is constantly growing. I'm sure you've heard people in your life complain about getting older. I'm 22 and I've done it myself. But really the reason for this is we haven't really prepared for old age, but we want to help change all of that. We want you to look forward to all the years of your life and truly live while you are alive. We don't want to merely exist on this planet. We want to live, work, play on this planet, and have a truly quality life. So now we're seeing this incredibly large group of baby boomers reaching that over 50 phase of life. And we can see for the first time in large numbers the effects that long life can have. Long life reveals some major areas of health concern after the age of 50 if we don't do something before the age of 50 to help prevent these. One of these devastating areas that we're looking at is the mental disease of Alzheimer's. Now, Alzheimer's is not a new disease. It's actually been around for quite a long time, but we're seeing more cases of it reported recently because more and more people are reaching that age of 70 and beyond, which 70 is the age that mental diseases like Alzheimer's typically set in. We're seeing that people are taking a lot of preventative measures to hopefully not get Alzheimer's, including taking fish oil pills, as well as playing mind games like Sudoku to help the mind stay sharp. It's even gotten to the point where it's so bad that some people are referring to Alzheimer's as type 3 diabetes. This is because we've recently seen a link between lifelong sugar consumption and a rise in the risk of getting Alzheimer's. We're also looking at the importance of taking care of our own skin. So we now know that extreme exposure to the sun can cause premature aging. But the preventative measure for that is pretty simple. You just put on some sunscreen. But really the biggest area of concern that we're looking at is your musculoskeletal system. These are the nerves, bones, and muscles of your body. In other words, it's your ability to move around. You know, tying your shoes, doing chores, or helping somebody move in without feeling like you've been hit by a truck. So we've increased the odds that we live to be 80 or older, and we've increased the number of activities that we perform in a lifetime. But what hasn't changed is the way we take care of our spine. And we can see that with our increased healthcare costs. Now, Menards recently did an internal study into workman comp cases. And they saw that it's much better to start with chiropractic care. Now, of their workers that started with chiropractic care, they had an average medical spending of $539 per case, as opposed to the over $3,000 spent by their workers that went with the traditional medical route. So now we're seeing that the most common cause of functional disability in people over the age of 50 is spinal disorders. This is incredibly important to know. If the number one reason you can't play with your kids, exercise, even hold a job in the most severe cases is because of your spine and the pain associated with that, well, that obviously has everything to do with chiropractic care. We treat spinal disorders better than any other professional class in the world. Now, one example that we like to give is if I told you that someone was going to break into your house and steal all of your possessions, and I told you when this was going to happen, now your natural response would be to do something about it. So now I'm telling you what's going to rob you of your ability to move and when it's going to happen. We know here that, it can be hard to make the right choice about preventative care, and part of that may have been because of the way we were raised. I grew up playing sports, so that tough it out, rub some dirt on it mentality I experienced my whole life. Sometimes even waiting until it's so bad that you just absolutely have to do something about it. But we can't be treating our spine this way. If we think of a car, if you push and push and push that car until it finally dies, well, 9 times out of 10, it would have been better for the car and cheaper in the long run if we had gotten that proper preventative care and maintenance that it required. And really, if we stop and think about it, if we lose our ability to move at age 65 and live to be 105, which we're seeing as a real possibility, that would be 40 years of immobility and pain. But some things have obviously gotten better. As a general population, we're taking a lot better care of our pearly whites. So we're seeing the preventative measures that we're doing a lot are going to the dentist, brushing, flossing, all of these things leading to a decrease in cavities and tooth decay and all of the pain and costs associated with that. We're also taking a closer look at what we're putting into our own body. Places like McDonald's putting calorie counts on food, to the hundreds of smartphone apps that we have now that really make keeping track of calories pretty easy. As far as exercise is concerned, people are trying to get active. When you walk into a gym, you might hear some crazy phrases thrown around, such as high-intensity interval training, CrossFit, hot yoga. But some people are even going the complete opposite way, with pickleball, ultimate frisbee being some of their main forms of exercise. And it's a fact that if our spine were on our face, we would take better care of it. Now, that's not to say that we're shallow individuals. It's just we'd actually be able to see what's going on in our own body. You don't wait until your teeth fall out to go see a dentist, and you shouldn't wait until your back goes out to go do something about it and see a chiropractor. But why is preventative care so important? It's because there's no such thing as a spine transplant. We can replace teeth, we can replace a lot of the organs in our bodies, but we can't get a new spine. So if we don't take proper care of it, there's no going back. Back to that tough it out mentality we talked about earlier. If you push and push and push, it's like rolling the dice with your health. You don't know how much is too much for your body. I can't tell you how much is too much for your body, and we can push too much, and the result would be a lifetime of pain. Back to that car that we talked about earlier. If I said that that's the only car you're going to have your entire life, well, you'd be sure to get the tires rotated, the oil changed, pay really close attention when that check engine light comes on. We think it's just as important, if not more important, to have that same mentality with our spine. And why is the spine important anyway? Because it's the superhighway of connectivity between your brain and the rest of your body. I'm sure you're aware that your brain controls everything that your body does, but it does this through the nervous system. And every single nerve in your body runs through your spine. Even the ones that control your eyes and your facial muscles, those go down through the spine and the neck and then back up to your face. This means that a problem with your spine can affect your nerves, muscles, organs, and even entire systems of your body. And we're seeing that a lot of people think that this is just about back pain, but it's about more than that. We're seeing 1 in 3 adults over the age of 50 with severe neck pain. And I'm sure that you personally would like to be able to use your neck over the age of 50 without pain. And then even with that low back pain that we talked about, an astonishing 85 out of every 100 adults will have severe low back pain at some point in their life. With these kinds of numbers, we can be sure that some people are experiencing both at the same time. Now we think this should be enough, that people should know we need to do something preventative about that, but in just a minute we can take a look at what would happen if we just ignore our structural system. That's because we're seeing now the average person age 65 has only a 25% functional capacity. So simple things that you may never think of, such as placing your hands behind your head, placing your hands behind your back, putting an ankle on an opposite knee, even bending down to pick something up off the floor. All of these functions are extremely necessary for everyday life, and they're mobility challenges that someone age 65 might have. Some other mobility challenges that we're seeing are elderly people getting in and out of a car. And as we can see, this is not the exception for the age range. I'm sure you know several people in your life that struggle with this daily task. We're also seeing in this second video a father that's laid up in bed on a bunch of pain medications because his back's out of place. And the reason for that is because he gave his daughter a pony ride. Now, we think you should be able to play with your children, nieces and nephews, grandkids, without pain. And really the saddest part about this is that even after those pain medications wear off, his back's still going to be out of place. So maybe you're wondering, can this be changed or is it too late for me? And the good news is that it's never too late to start. So what we're seeing here with this red line, that's your typical mobility scale if you ignore your structural system. So we can see a pretty steep drop off here later in life. And with proper preventative and chiropractic care, it's that green line here, and we can hold your maximum mobility at about 75% for the rest of your life. Now that's a really big stat to know. That is a huge difference as compared to the 25% stat that we saw just a little bit ago. It's some really good news that we love sharing with people. It's also never too soon to start. So this video that's going to play here shows you why any age range can benefit from chiropractic care. So you may not know that the typical childbirth will put about 70 pounds of pressure on the head and neck of a newborn, that toddlers will trip and fall more in a week than the average adult will in a year, and that even some spinal misalignments are linked to learning disabilities later in life, like ADHD. So now you're wondering, okay, well what about me personally? And again, it's never too late to start. Even if we've ignored our spinal health in the past, it doesn't mean that we can't, stop that degeneration and even in some cases cause some regeneration. If you saw someone who had never been to the dentist before in their life, you wouldn't tell them to just forget it. You tell them, let's make the right decision and go see someone about it. The same is true with chiropractic care. Now, with that tough it out mentality that we've talked about already, we're seeing that a lot of people will want to stop receiving their adjustments as soon as they're out of pain. And we strongly, strongly, strongly recommend that you follow through with your entire recommendation of care. That's because your spine's been misaligned for a long time, and it's going to take every single one of those adjustments that your doctor recommends to really make that change. They're not going to recommend one more or one fewer adjustment than you need. And we give you these adjustments through our 3 stages of care, which is pain relief, stabilization, and then wellness. So what's causing your problems in the first place? The technical answer is a subluxation, but breaking that down a little bit, it's really just the daily habits of your life that will push and pull on your spine and cause it to be misaligned. Things that I never thought of before I came in here, such as sleeping on the same side of the bed every night, holding your head a certain way at work if you type on a computer or text on a phone, even sitting in the same chair every night when you watch TV. All of these things can put your spine into the wrong position and cause a pinched nerve, which can cause a lot of pain and discomfort. The solution is chiropractic adjustments. So this is where the doctor will actually place hands on your spine and put it back into the position that it needs to be. Now, one of the things that we're seeing people coming in here with some wrong ideas is that chiropractic care takes a lot of time. Now, we do give a very thorough first exam where we go over chiropractic, neurological, orthopedic, and physical exams. And really we want to make sure that you know everything that you're signing up for, so we go through that full written report of finding on that follow-up visit. But after that, we're seeing the average appointment time being only 5 minutes. Now, we know that chiropractic care, it's easy, it's safe, it's affordable, but it also depends a lot from person to person. So before I came in here, I was a do-it-yourself popper. So when I came in to receive care, I said I want to feel those pops, because that's what I was used to. But we have drop tables, we have activators, so never feel like you're stuck in a certain care plan. Chiropractic care is most effective when you're relaxed, and you're most relaxed when you're comfortable with the type of care you're receiving. So if you ever need more time to talk to a doctor, just ask a staff member and we can help schedule you that free of charge. So the first phase that we're going to talk about is those pain relief adjustments. So during this phase, the doctors are going to be concerned with what symptoms you're showing and how you're feeling. We typically don't give out those at-home workouts because we don't want anyone to be unknowingly compensating for any pain that they might have. We're also seeing this called the roller coaster phase. So you feel better, you feel worse, you feel better, you feel worse. And this is quite normal. If we compare it to going to the orthodontist, when you first get those braces on and they tighten them up, your muscles aren't used to being pulled in that direction, so it causes a little bit of discomfort. The same might be true of chiropractic, but just drinking a lot of water and icing the areas that are affected can really help with that. Lastly, we're seeing that we're coming in at a higher frequency during this phase than we have for the other 2 phases. And that's because we really need to get your body some momentum so it can start the process of healing itself. If I had a goal of losing 10 pounds, I can't go to the gym just once a week. I'm going to have to go 2-3 times a week to really get that ball rolling and see the results that we want to see. So our second phase is our stabilization adjustments. You should be feeling pain less frequently and less intensely. and this is where we're going to give you those at-home workouts to work on some of those things on your own. Now, you may be wondering, okay, well, I'm out of pain, so why do I need to keep coming back? And again, it's because your spine's been misaligned for a long time, so it's going to take some time to get it back to where it needs to be. We need to retrain your spine and the muscles around it to accept that correct position that the doctors are putting your spine in as the new normal position for your body. And again, we'd love if it was an overnight process, but it takes some time. If I want to look like I'm ready to go try out for Mizzou's football team, I can't just go to the gym and lift real heavy once. I have to come back and really commit to that process to get to where I need to be. Our third stage, after we get you to a stabilized condition, will be our preventative health care, which we deem our wellness adjustments. Now this phase in particular, it's simple, it's effective, and it's honestly pretty cost effective as well, but it's the most essential to changing your future and getting you to that green line of mobility that we saw before. Now you may be thinking, I've had other people tell me this, and I've heard before I came in here, that chiropractors want you to come back for the rest of your life. The simple answer is, you're right. But when you stop and think about it, you don't go to the dentist and they tell you, your teeth look great, come back when they're falling out. You don't go to the eye doctor in the 3rd grade and they tell you, your eyes look great, come back when you're blind. Every single doctor, including doctors of chiropractic, recognize the importance of preventative health care. It's really the simplest and easiest way to keep you at your healthiest you. Now, wellness chiropractic specifically has some really great benefits for about a week's worth of Starbucks per visit. So we're seeing an 85% reduction in pharmaceutical drug use, 50% fewer medical doctor visits, 30% savings in overall healthcare costs, 60% fewer hospitalizations, and 62% fewer surgeries. Now with that 62% fewer surgeries, if 80% of the nation were under wellness care, we could save $529 billion a year. Now, hopefully it appears like I am passionate about this topic, and that's because I'm a patient myself. So I got this job not too terribly long ago through an ad that I saw online. And at the very bottom it said that you receive free chiropractic care when you work here. So I said, okay, like I already said, I pop everything myself. My back and my neck hurt a little bit, but it's probably not going to be anything crazy. I didn't know then that it should have been the #1 selling point for me. So I actually had my report of findings with Dr. Brandon in the office, and I have what's called a reversed curvature in my neck. So this is an actual x-ray of mine that shows my neck going forward as opposed to the backwards, which is the correct alignment. So Dr. Brandon's exact words was that it was a godsend that I got the job and came in here to receive care. Because this can go misdiagnosed or undiagnosed for a very long time and cause a lot of problems later in life. But now I know that I have the key to life, which is what we're calling our class. And on your way out, be sure to ask someone so that you can remember you have the key to life as well. We have a little spine keychain for you as well as one of our gifts for attending this class. Now, hopefully you're thinking about some friends, family members, coworkers that can benefit from the care that you're receiving now as well. And to stick with the punny theme a little bit, we like to say, don't worry, we got their backs too. But really, like we talked about, it's never too soon to start, and we talked about the trauma of childbirth on the spine. But really, any family member or friend can benefit from this easy, simple, cost-effective way to really changing their future. And the good news is that with a little bit of preventative care, we can eliminate a lot of that pain management that we're seeing later in life. So our Key to Life special today, for whoever you sign up today, you can receive that full new patient exam, the chiropractic, neurological, orthopedic, and physical exam, x-rays if the doctors deem it necessary, and then that full written report of findings for whoever you sign up today at absolutely no cost. Now, hopefully you've already been experiencing some of the benefits of chiropractic care, and hopefully some of the things that I said today stuck with you. But really, we want you to be a part of changing someone's life. When they come into the office, they say, I have this person to thank for getting me to come in and receive care. So this last little video that we have here is a few funny reminders on why we all need chiropractic care. So thank you so much for attending this class, and we just love to get you to feel like yourself again.